everyone. I'm really happy to be here, part of this conferences. I hope I will highlight different topics might be relevant and how to attract and retain employees. It's a big question in the hotel industry. The main one topic was certainly the wage reevaluation. It's a big topic. I can tell you service professions are humanly very demanding, and people who have the passion for this profession must be rewarded. Give you some figures, quite important. In France alone, 400,050 people have turned away from service professions, compared to just over 210,000 new employees who had decided to take up a career in the same professions. So we've seen that is really hard since the crisis to find the right talent and very motivated if there is no reevaluation of salary. It's a big topic for many top companies, especially so in hotel industry and also restaurant industry. We can think also the example of the United Kingdom, post-Brexit and post-crisis is obvious in Europe. Many members of the hotel and restaurant industry have turned to other paths. They try to find a real balance between life and professional life. So it might be one of the big topics for, let's see, the next couple of years to reevaluate the salary to attract more talented people in our sector. There is still some improvement, but still we have a lot to do, honestly. That's certainly one of the main topics that I have on my mind, and it's very a concerned topic. There is certainly another one, might be also relevant, is we get used to recruit people by the skills, but now we are changing, and it's obvious that we need to recruit people in terms of personality, in terms of attitude. Too many candidates think they are fit to be able to work in a service profession, but honestly give up very quickly if they don't know all the rules in all the sector. So I think it's a kind of a responsibility for us as a recruiter, and I would say also for the school, to explain what is the career that you want, if you fit in, if you're choosing the right department, and if you have also the personality for it. I will also advise you about something to choose the right company. You know, sometimes we apply for prestigious luxury brands, and we realize that our character doesn't fit to the company and to the job that we apply for. So it's maybe something very relevant also to think about. Have a different perception of the recruitment of the person. I would say also it's above all up to manager to recruit the right one based on his attitude, because luxury and service jobs generals is above all with human adventure. That's why actually we launch a special event, Excellence by Vendom, try to figure out how to recruit the right talent for the right company. Because we understood that it's very important that professionals understand completely the DNA of a company when they apply for it. And for the recruiter, they have to choose the right person, but I would say for the talent, they really have to choose the right company for them, and everyone is different. So we have to take in consideration that. So the profession has really changed, because mainly during a decade, we were really focused on the skills. Now the keywords of the current recruiters are attitude, will, vision, involvement, creativity, humility. So it would be certainly the two main topics, if I would say how to attract people. Also, I could say give visibility on the possible career. We need to change that part. Candidates are increasingly mobile, flexible, curious. They may not accept being isolated in a department or mission. They need to feel the recognition. They need to understand that we trust them. So many managers need to take this into account to avoid too much turnover. They must be able to regularly offer, if the employee wishes, training, new mission, and be aware of the motivation levels. We need to understand as a manager, and if we want to be a good leader, we need also to anticipate the needs of our talents. And well, it's kind of the same for customer experience. We try to be focused on anticipation. We will have to do the same in the leadership. I think it's quite very important. So large groups are very attractive for this because they offer the opportunity to practice in different regions. They can also give the promise of rapid evolution within a department or even between departments. However, the smaller group, thanks to the desire to mark as an identity, now seems to offer some possibility. So it's something we can see. So for different companies now, when they do interviews and when you start to apply, they explain to you how the different possibility of evolution you will have might be very relevant, as it's so hard to find the right talent. Thinking about also the spectrum of management or participate management. I think we should have the change at the managers to give the possibility to motivate people and requesting them more responsibility. We should not be afraid to let them be themselves, to propose idea, to push the system and move the lines. I remember something about Steve Jobs, you know, they say a quote, I don't remember properly exactly the quote it was, but explained that when we hire talented people, smart people, we need to let open to express themselves. I think in the hotel industry, sometimes there is too much hierarchy and we should open the doors. So it's something relevant to work on it. So listen to the teams one day-to-day basis, quite important. Understand the profession and place the employee in an address where a group is. Productivity will no longer go through a strictly hierarchical order, as I said, but through a proper integration of employee within the project. And I will mention definitely the process of recruitment is very, very important. And for many experts, we need to change it. Still, after COVID crisis, still a long process, many interviews. Sometimes it takes weeks to get one answer. It's too much. We need to definitely change the process of recruitment with more attention to the applicants. There is a lot to do on that part because it gives the first image of the company. So I would advise definitely recruiters to change the way they are doing, because still they are doing the same that before COVID, which is not good. I would point out also highlight all functions and departments. It's very important to recognize all profession and not only the top ones or the top leaders. A baggage handle must be as important in the company as a restaurant manager, even if it doesn't earn the same salary. Everyone is responsible, but everyone is also the ambassador of the company, of the group. So it's very important to pay attention to everyone. So more recognition would be definitely a very interesting topic, I would say. More and more managers in the hotel and restaurant industry are constantly on the floor, directing the attention and efforts not only towards customer, but also towards their employees. They learn for each function of the department by going to learn from the work on site. A GM can share time with a housekeeper in her mission to be as close as possible to what she does daily. And testing the function has become one of the sine qua non in the proper functioning of a company. It's important that let's not forget that many GMs or chefs started at the very bottom of the ladder in the restaurant industry as a clerk, for example, or even diver. They are sensitive to the employee's desire to evolve. Very also interesting to see in this industry, the notion of transmission is a kind of a pillar of this type of a profession. Transmit knowledge and let it evolve over the course of the time, thanks to the trust placed in its young employees. The industry, especially in this industry, I think, which is really great, we can evolve sharing experience, learning fast. So we need really to pay attention to everyone in the company. They're all passionate, they're all eager to learn. So it's very important, I think, the recognition from everyone in a team. The purpose is definitely the client experience, but before that, he has to be in the beginning, I would say, a team experience. So we all need to share information and knowledge. I think better environment will be the key of the success to attract the new talents, especially in this profession. Also, the crisis has really affected local profession. We must show that our functioning as a society cannot do without them. Not everything will be virtual in the future, or service profession are the first to be able to recreate human ties that even become a little loose. This is getting to the heart of the matters. The years 2000, 2001 show that many companies, 2020 and 2021 show that many companies excel at their online service, which is good, but it's not enough. Generation Z is naturally attracted to the online interaction, but they're also looking for roots for history. As an example, honestly, we've seen that when we create Excellence by Vendôme as an event. Online event is quite good, but a lot of people, even though that they get many interviews, they share many experience through different types of professionals, everyone requires the presential. So we shouldn't forget that. The world of luxury is still an event and a precursor, definitely. It's really a sector that is a dreamy sector. People are really involved in their missions. still passionate, but still they have need to more recognition, and we make a big difference to attract and to retain, of course, the talents in the company. Well, this is part of my point that I have in my mind. I don't know if you have any question already about what I'm saying. Hello.
Yes, I have like few questions about what you say.
Okay, tell me.
So first, you talk about re-evaluation of salary
Yes.
at the beginning. I would like to know, on what do you base your evaluation?
Very simple. We, as you maybe know, Vendom is a recruitment agency. And so we are in direct contact with all applicants for different type of position. Many of them, when they see the salary, they ask for a re-evaluation. Compared to luxury environment where we work for that, it's 30% more. So it's a big gap between, let's see, in retail or a different type of position in luxury sector and the hospitality industry. So we know, obviously, it's a part of the problem. It's not the only one, as I said, is one of the accents that I mentioned. We've seen that people need to, you know, it's a profession, as we ask a lot to people. Long hours, working on the weekend. People are passionate and they always do it by not, you know, by passion and not asking themselves that why they should be paid for it. But now the things have changed since the COVID crisis. They've seen, most of them, they've seen that they want a balance. Balance in personal and professional life. They've seen also that they are not paid so much, and they compare, you know, when they lost their job, they've been touching or applying for a new sector, and they've seen the difference. So now they are a little bit more picky about the salary, definitely. Did I reply to your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot. I have a second question, which is also a base. I would like to know, because you talk about anticipate needs of talents, but I would like to know how do you recognize talents, and what is for you the definition of talents?
Okay. There is two, the hard skills and soft skills. During, I mean, let's see, last decade, we were very focused on hard skills. Because for us, it was something that we need to, I mean, the first thing we can trust in the hard skill, the experience. But we've seen that attitude is very, very important, and people can learn fast. For me, talents, it's definitely a kind of balance between hard skill and soft skills. And I will say more soft skills than hard skills. In our sector, we are linked to emotions. When we talk about experience, we talk about emotions. We need to create this on-client experience. So I would point out the emotional intelligence. People have to get the attitude, because the attitude is it's natural. So of course you can have a lot of hard skills because you gain an experience, which is great. But if you don't have the proper attitude in luxury, it won't work. So the talent is definitely someone who has the right balance between hard skill and soft skills. It's also really important to keep your personality and to find the right company. I've seen so many talents apply for many companies and they are not fit with the DNA. It's better to apply less, but properly, choosing the right company that you're gonna enjoy your journey with, than apply for anything, any type of job, thinking that is good for you. The talent is definitely someone who know who he is or she, what she really wants learn from the company and from the mission, and also would take in consideration it takes time to learn. Don't need to be in a rush. I mean, it's not because you heard about that we always need to be in a rush. I mean, crisis, the COVID crisis, it's such a big lesson of life. We take a break. Worldwide, we take a break and think about what would be the next. And the next, maybe take the time. So the talents who understand that they need to take the time to learn, to choose the right company for the career, and how to jump to another experience with no rush, will be a brilliant talent that we're looking for.
Yeah, I agree with all what you said. Definitely. You have maybe a question?
Yeah, since we were about giving some example of you know, the advice that you can give them, because obviously they all want to be a talent, but sometimes they can doubt themselves. So what kind of advice could you give them to sell themselves when they have to pass an interview for a job in this industry?
Okay, some advice. First one, everyone's gonna laugh, but try to be you and not another person. I've seen so many young talents try to duplicate what they seen. Sometimes they've seen something that is not correct and they are not appropriate to their own personality. So first thing is to be yourself. Don't hesitate to be transparent, what you expect, what you want. A little bit of more humility, which is very important when you make an interview. You're young, you have all your life to learn. So don't be in a rush for what you expect in your career. I mean, being a leader or manager takes time. And I've seen so many youngs want to be quickly manager with no experience. So I think they have to apply for the right company, but the right company, if the company corresponds for who you are and not you pretend to be or you expect to be, who you are from now. That's a big advice I can say. I would say also try to be a little bit creative. I've seen so many copy paste of motivation later. We honestly sometimes we don't read it anymore. It's a copy paste. We've seen that so many times. That's why I'm saying instead to apply for the quantity of job offers that you see, choose the right one and make really interesting motivation later. Try to be a little bit curious and not always go directly on LinkedIn. Try to achieve the human resource director. Imagine that they are receiving thousand messages every day. They're not able to apply to you. But if you want to work for a company, try to achieve another colleague, someone you you can be inspired. Let's see, you want to be in F&B department. Why don't you contact directly the F&B director or food and beverage manager? Try to see, get impression, how was his career, different experience, his failure. Try to learn people that might be your calling for the future if you really want to work for this company. So obviously, a lot of people try to think that if they apply to job offer, they start to be a little bit frustrated because they don't have any answer. I think sometimes it's better to be positioned in parallel and be different from the other ones. That's the big advice I can give you, all of you, young talents.
Thanks, it was really good. I have a question from one of our spectators. The question is the hospitality industry experiencing a positive change in the behavior of its employees?
Repeat the question.
Yeah. Is the hospitality industry currently experiencing a positive change in the behavior of its employees?
It starts, but not enough. There was a little big change. The main change is, as I mentioned at the really beginning of my speech, we lost so many talents in the industry. So before that, I mean, we received, many applications, and all those applications was people very experienced. Let's say luxury hotel industry, for different type of position, we wanted only people from this luxury sector. Now we changed because we lost so many talents. So facing the reality, we're thinking, well, maybe more relevant to get people with the right attitude than be focused just on the experience. So there is a big change on that part. It's the first one, which is good. Another one is definitely we trust more people inside of the company. Sometimes it was really hard to in your own company, we have talents. But I don't know why or the reasons. Sometimes we always think, well, it's maybe more interesting to get people from outside for a position of manager. Instead, sometimes to give the position to people that are in a company. So they are changing on that part too. They give the chance. We trust them because we think, well, they are an ambassador since many years into our company. We are very, even though they are not, they have not all skills for the job, maybe we can try. So there is more trust. And I think it's very important to trust the people that we train and those people who trust us. So it's really a nice balance. We think that there is a little change on that part. And then I would say third point, I think we are more open to diversity. We open the doors to different talents. Sometimes they have not touched for the first time the position, but we are open and we let them to understand, to know, to appreciate the industry where we are, which is good. I think it's important to change the rules in terms of recruitment process, which is good, honestly. But there is still a lot of work to do. Just the beginning.
Just let bounce off what you said about the trust. In which way and how you trust enough as a manager your employee to be themselves? Because you talk about during your speech about let them propose ideas because they are talents. So in which way you trust enough your employee to be themselves?
It's really a good question.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's a question of intelligence. I mean, it's a leadership. I mean, we hire smart people, and we shouldn't be afraid as a manager to be shaped by our own employees. It's a chance. It's really a chance to learn from everyone, from maid, from the room service, from different type of position and different skills. I mean, team and people that we are managing, it's really a chance, because it gives us light ideas that we need to move and to improve ourselves in the systems. So definitely I will say to all managers, let the doors open. I mean, everyone can say and share the ideas. Sometimes ideas are relevant on a system, sometimes not, and it's not a big deal. So we need to let people talk, try to participate to a better organization. So the trust is kind of the opposite of the fear. We shouldn't have the fear of anything. If you trust in life, trust in people, I mean, can give us so many things and very positive elements in organization, or even though in terms of management. So we need to let people talk. We shouldn't consider that as an offense, which is not.
I think it depends also on the establishments, because if they have enough fear, they cannot trust enough in the employee. So maybe it's the establishment is like a good luxury hotel. They can't trust enough.
They should.
So
any type of organization is not we shouldn't listen people. No fear in company. We shouldn't have the fear of anything. We should just, as I said, I mean, we are in this society, we can talk. We can talk, understand, give a certain transparency, and explain also. I'm not agree with you, and I can't give you the argument. It's not a question of fear. You can trust the people that you talk and say, I'm telling you, I'm okay. I received the information that you gave it to me. I receive, I mean, your project or your ideas, but let me tell you why I'm not agree with you. You can not agree with someone because you already experienced and it did work. Maybe you think that is not relevant enough. I think trust is about also authenticity and transparency in relation. And it's, I mean, it could be in professional and personal life. More when you're easy, I mean, when it starts to be easy to communicate, it's not a problem. And you have always a trust. Big or small institution, it doesn't make any sense. It's a question of a human part. So it's not about the organization.
okay, I agree.
That's why I'm saying there's a lot of things to change in the industry.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why, what the reason, but most of the time we are it's not a frustration, but we are afraid to be challenged. But challenge is part of life. So we shouldn't be afraid about young people, or we shouldn't be afraid about seniority. Hold a mix, make a big movement for a company. And we've seen, which is good, what's happened right now in the industry. I know it's hard for ateliers to see that we lost a lot of talents. It's hard for everyone, especially for recruiters. I am in a recruitment company, so it is hard for us to find the right, but we need to change. That's all it is.
Yeah. Maybe
and changing altogether, you know, so find the right balance. Recruiter has to be less demanding and give more chance and trust more people. And young people or professional have to understand with humility what they have really as an experience to choose the right company and to choose also the right talent. Because if you're a student and just you have 2 internships and you pretend to be a manager just because you have 2 internships, think about why people not reply to you, because you have no the experience as a manager.
So also the interview for your application is really important, just to show yourself and to show the authenticity.
Yes, you have to, but you have to apply also for the right skill that you have. I mean, I've seen that, so you're gonna laugh, a lot of you, but honestly, we've seen that. I've seen different students arriving on the market and they apply for a position of general manager with no experience. So, and they explained to me that they have 2 internships, so it's enough. Imagine for the recruiter, what do? Do you think when you receive, let's see, 100, maybe more, 500 applications, do you think you're going to reply? No. The thing is, I mean, they are not able. They think why they apply. They didn't pay attention about the job offer, the mission, what I expect. So that's why I'm saying you will have more return from recruiters if you pay attention, if you read properly the mission, if you fit correctly to the mission and the job description, and after, I mean, the doors are open. You have to express yourself as you as a person, and you will get the challenge, of course.
So we have a new question in the audience. Would replacing the unpleasant tasks of the hotel industry with artificial intelligence or automation be a solution to re-enchant the sector?
No, I don't believe it. Sorry. The recruitment process is the human part. It's like client services. It's about emotions. I know that. I mean, we've seen all the new technology coming, new concept. You know, it's trendy to get new concept, new services, new way of recruiting. Sorry, I'm quite old-fashioned. I don't believe in that. I mean, digital is really a good support in terms of visibility, which is true. It's really fast. We can have a different market very quickly, which is good, but it's not enough. In our industry, we need the link with people. We need, I'm thinking about that, but we need to get interviews and to see the person. Sorry, sometimes the CV are not able to understand the experience. When you get in contact, you discover the personality, and sometimes we are really impressed and see how you applied, you your CV was not correct at all, but when I listen to you, I'm very interested. So I can talk to you about that. I can talk to you about also networking. People think about LinkedIn, you know, you click, you have 1,000 connections, overexcited, they know anyone, and they think, well, they will make carry on that. It's not true. So you need to use the digital or any element artificial just as a support, but it's not the end. We need at the moment to be in contact with people. So obviously it's trendy. It's lovely to hear concept, word concept, but it's not enough, especially our industry. I don't know if I replied properly to your question.
Yeah, I think you replied correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I have no more question for now.
Okay.
Just probably one more. We were focusing here about the recruitment part, but you were saying also that it was complicated right now with the crisis to retain the talents. So some of our students will decide to do human resources. So what kind of ideas can you give them? Of course, we say about the salary, but when you have a talent that you want to stay in your hotel or your restaurant, we'll talk about the mobility at the beginning also. What are the new ways to be able to retain somebody that you really think has an impact for your company?
One word: kindness. We need to be kind with people. I've seen, especially in our industry, hotel industry and restaurant industry, sometimes people, they are hard between each other, lack of respect, which is not cool and not good for the industry. So of course we have to change the salary, but what I listen from different people is about passion that they have for the industry, and what they expect is a minimum of recognition. Behind the recognition is the kindness. Kindness is not a bad word. It's not because we hear a lot of news in worldwide, negative ones. I mean, kindness, it's a good word and it's a good action. What does it mean? Is avoid jealousy, be happy for each other in a team, sharing the success together, because there is no client experience alone. In company, we are a team. Push and be happy for people to improve is all about trust also. So we don't have so much to do in the industry, just paying more attention to people. That's all I can say. And it will be a big change for our sector. Because all the talents want to make career, or they do career in this industry, it's definitely because they are passionate. They love the luxury service with all the costs, and the costs are very interesting to analyze in the history of luxury. And they are linked to people. It's not, we are not in technical sector. We are not robots. We live for emotions. Whole people are choosing the services, especially in hospitality and restaurant industry, because they live for emotions. So kindness, it would be a key word for the industry. changing this part would be good. Welcome all the talents, I would say.
Thank you. It was very helpful, and I hope the students will actually be happy to learn that kindness is still not so old-fashioned. It's something that we should do every single day.
Yeah, definitely.
If in the audience you still have some question, we're waiting for you. I think they're still shy. But if you want Laetitia to add something more, it will be a pleasure to listen, because it was very interesting. I keep having Leo chatting and telling me, that's great, that's great. So you see, you have the first fan today. So I bet that all our participants today were actually quite happy with the webinar. Thank you.
Yep.
Well, the only thing I will add, if I summarize what I'm saying, it's I would say for all talents, be proud of who you are, try to understand you better, to choosing the right company. Don't be afraid to move lines into with a certain of humility, and bring with you kindness and share it, because sharing experience at different level, even though you are a student, I mean, it's great. I mean, I have in my team young manager confirm some big senior profiles with me, and we all sharing knowledge, and it's very interesting for the organization and the adventure, I would say, because when you work, it's definitely a journey with the company, with the DNA, with the history of the company. So choose the right one. It's very important. And do not hesitate to go over the digital part. I mean, over the LinkedIn collection. Do not hesitate to ask many questions to the people who can inspire you or give you advice for your career. It's very important. And of course, we will be so happy to answer to everyone.
Thank you very much, Laetitia.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, more than welcome, everyone. Don't be shy. I think the next step for you for the next conference is to open the discussion.
You have a last question. So yesterday we have a conference about automatization, task automatization. For example, in the concierge position, what do you think about it? Don't you think at the end we're going to lose the main point of hospitality?
Definitely. And it's all I said, you know, we try to reinvent the service, and there is limits. When you go in luxury hotel and did you already, everyone, did you already ask question to a concierge? It's definitely a passionate job. I mean, they talk about all the secrets they have. They know in the city, they know everything. They know the history, they know, I mean, it's very interesting. It's impossible to get automation. So I'm not believing that. It's like, you know, I know it's trendy. I know some hospitality industry do that. You come into a hotel, you don't have any more welcome desk. I mean, you have just your key card, and then it is fine. No, it's not fine, because I mean, you need to get especially in luxury, you need to get the contact with people. You go into in luxury hotel because you want to live an experience. That's why we call the client experience. We look for that. So making automation just because it's a new concept, that's the limits. So no, I'm not believing it. Sorry. I believe in people, yeah, not in the robots.
Yes.
I think it was the last question. We'll still have a couple of minutes, or if the people wants in the audience to actually ask your question, we are waiting for you.
No more?
No more. So thanks. We're going to say that it's going to be the end with this nice question about believing in humans more than in the machine. Thanks for having us today and for sharing you all the knowledge that you were give the students today. And I hope that they're going to be able to reach out to you if they have more questions. Up. Every time I'm closing, they're asking you questions. So let me see. Thank you from Paul. So you see, we are all thanking you for being with us this morning and to share your knowledge. And thanks again for this conference.
Yes, it was amazing.
Thank you all of the audience, and well, stay in touch.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.